What's up, everyone? Giant Opinions here. Now I'm going to be talking about a subject that not only Giants fans, but also just MLB fans in general are wondering and are curious, and that is, should the San Francisco Giants trade starting pitcher Madison Bumgarner? I'm going to talk about the pros and cons, but let me just give you a short answer. I think they should trade him. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that they will trade him, but I think it's the right move to do. Uh, and it would be the better move for the future. Now, but ignoring that, let me just go into the pros and cons of trading Madison Bumgarner. But first, you need some background. The Giants, currently, they're only 4.5 games out of the wild card spot. The trade deadline is in around 15 days, so 2 weeks. So the Giants are still somewhat in contention, though they are still one of the bottom teams in the National League. Okay, now, some pros of trading Madison Bumgarner from the San Francisco Giants standpoint. You can get some pretty good prospects for Bumgarner, and you could also get maybe an established MLB-ready player who could help the team. See, Bumgarner he doesn't have the best trade value out of all of the main trade deadline players. However, he can definitely, I can almost guarantee we will get at least a number 5 overall prospect in a team's farm system. That's because of Bumgarner. I mean, pretty much throughout all of his tenure in the MLB since like 2013, he's had around a 3 or under 3 ERA, and his trade values increased based on his postseason performance. In 2014, we all know what he did in the World Series. Improbable, probably the best pitching ever in the World Series, and that's uh, and I mean Mariano Rivera pitched amazing, but I think Bumgarner pitched very well. But his postseason experience boosts his trade value. Teams will want that. Teams that want to make the World Series, they are going to want a starting pitcher who has proven and established that he is postseason ready and that he can be dominant in the World Series. Okay, and two, he's also a lefty. There's not that many good starting left-handed pitchers in the league, and especially at the trade deadline, Bumgarner is one of the few, and that could also help his trade value. And he also provides with the bat in his hand. Now, it may not matter for American League teams, but for national team leagues National League teams that may want Bumgarner, his bat could also contribute to some of his trade value. Okay. And another positive is just for the future. You will get good prospects for Bumgarner, and these prospects could turn into superstars. You never know. You've seen these flea steals where you trade a good player. Maybe they do bad, but then the prospects that you get in return, they do amazing. You never know with prospects. Now, that's the thing. You never know, so for all we know, they could be busts. However, the potential is there, and the potential is what matters in the trade. Okay. Now let me talk about some of the cons about trading Madison Bumgarner for the San Francisco Giants, and that is one. Right now they're still somewhat in contention, so if you trade Bumgarner away, this team is definitely going to be worse. There's no doubt about it. When Bumgarner, or if he does leave the team, the Giants will be way worse. He is the ace of the team, and the ace is the best pitcher, so it's common sense. Um, Now B, he also has a lot of or the Giants are paying him around I think 20 million, maybe 13 million. I forgot the numbers. It's around one of those two, but uh, that could hinder his trade value. How much he's being paid? He is being paid quite a lot of money, and he is only a rental player. So you could definitely argue that it may not be worth it to trade Bumgarner, just because you won't get that much. I mean, personally, I think you could get a lot for him, but I'm being fair and I'm looking at two sides of this. It's not guaranteeing that you're going to get amazing players, especially because Bumgarner has I think he's around a 4 ERA right now, so it's not ace like quite yet. Okay, but those are really all the cons that I can see right now. Now onto the broader picture. Uh, I think the Giants should trade him if this past week, if they go on a losing streak, and if they don't turn, or if they're not a 500 team by the end of this week or a week and a half in, or if they're like if they're not 500 in 1.5 weeks, you trade him. You're not making the postseason. Don't think about it. Just trade him away. And also, it depends on his next start or two. if he throws the ball very well, his trade value will go up. But if he pitches a bad game, it might go down. Um, but now, what teams should trade for Madison Bumgarner potentially? Start with the National League. The number one team I can think about right now is the team that the Giants are playing in a series right now, and that is the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, their offense may be one of the best in the entire MLB, but their starting pitching, it's kind of lackluster. Chase Anderson's all right. Brandon Woodruff, I like him. He's good. I don't know if Gio Gonzalez is still on the team, but that's pretty much all they have starting pitcher-wise. I mean, Zach Davies has put together a pretty solid year. But still, they need that one dominant established ace, and they don't have. Or if Gio Gonzalez is still on the team, they have one lefty. But if not, they only have like one lefty. Bumgarner would help them tremendously too, and their offense would be scary because the pitcher spot when it comes up, it's kind of like a freebie, or you don't fear it. But with Bumgarner, you got to make sure you don't hang pitches. He would benefit the Brewers because he'd make their offense better when he pitches and they need that starting pitcher. And I feel like they are definitely in the win now mode because I don't see the Brewers uh, building up more talent and then winning it in 2 years. They're a win now team. They're going to have to give major contract extensions to players like Yelich, uh, and if they want to bring Mike Moustakas back. So the Brewers are the first team in the National League I could possibly see trading for Madison Bumgarner. They would definitely give up at least a top 5 prospect in their system because they are a win now team. Uh, Now let's switch it to the American League. The Yankees. Uh, they're always in trade rumors, but their rotation's solid. They have good guys like Domingo Germán, CC Sabathia's doing all right. Masahiro Tanaka, James Paxton, and Jay Happ. But uh, if they want to just go all in this year, say, you know what, we're winning this, we're not playing around, we're getting an ace. You trade for Bumgarner, he would be a massive improvement over Jay Happ if you ask me, and even CC Sabathia. Bumgarner, uh, he's just a great pitcher. Let's just be real. He's a top 5 starting pitcher usually in just MLB. And the Yankees, they need some help with the rotation. Uh, it's not a major problem, but the Yankees would be a lot better if they traded from Baumgartner. And I could definitely see them maybe making a move to get him to just solidify their starting rotation and be like, our rotation's good. We're not going to deal with okay, it's good. So the Yankees are the second team to possibly see trading for Madison Bumgarner. 3. This might be a little bit of a wild card team. I'm not sure. I'm kind of just making this up on the fly. But the Texas Rangers. Now hear me out. The Rangers, they're hovering around the 500 mark. They're only 2 games out of the wild. Actually, they might be 1 now. I think they're only 1 game out of the wild card. The rotation, basically all they have are established starting pitchers. Mike Minor, who's actually pitching amazing, and Lance Lynn. The rest of their starting rotation, it's kind of shaky, and it's definitely not that good. Jesse Chavez is one of their starters, so that kind of says a lot. Bumgarner would be an amazing pickup for the Rangers if you ask me. The Rangers need a starting pitcher if they actually want to contend this year, because they've been a quite surprising team. But if they want to contend, they could definitely do it by trading for Madison Bumgarner. Excuse the notifications if you heard them, but this one, yeah, it's kind of a wild card. It's not like definite that they're interested in him, but I could definitely see them maybe making a move for Bumgarner if they want to compete now, because I think they're going to be buyers at the deadline, and they could possibly give a contract extension to Bumgarner too, because he's a free agent after this year, so he could possibly stay in Texas too, because I don't think they have that many big contracts on the team, but yeah, the Rangers. Uh, for the Twins, I mean the trade rumors between the Twins and and Bumgarner have kind of died down a little bit, but I could still definitely see them trading for Madison Bumgarner. They do have some amazing guys in the rotation: Jose Barrios, Jake Odorizzi. Uh, I'm kind of forgetting other starting pitchers. Excuse me, but the top AL teams have great pitching. The Astros, the Red Sox. You could say the Yankees too, but I mean, They're not a top rotation, but like teams like the Astros, they have amazing rotations. But if the Twins want to possibly win the World Series this year, they might need to make that move for that established ace pitcher. Even though I don't think he would be the ace on the team, if they want to compete against teams like the Astros who have amazing pitching and a dangerous offense, they're going to need to bolster their rotation and make sure it's top notch. And trading for Madison Bumgarner would definitely do that. They're also linked to some rumors between Will Smith, so maybe we could do the Giants could trade Will Smith and Bumgarner to the Twins and get a pretty big haul for them. You never know. But those are really the teams that I can see right now. I'm trying to think of more, but maybe the Cubs. I mean, that's kind of a wild card, but that's really all of my ideas and thoughts on Bumgarner and if he should be traded and to who. Let me know what you think. Sorry, I was kind of scrambling for ideas in my head at some points of this video, so excuse me. Next time I'm going to be more prepared. But I hope you guys did enjoy this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Should they trade him? Who to? Who are we going to get? And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Oh, that's embarrassing. Well, if you stuck around, you saw that.